How's it going, boys and girls? So, I am going to be going over how exactly you are going to hit these numbers with your online business, with your service based business. Honestly, guys, this stuff is not actually as complex as many of you actually make it out to be. And I'm going to be very, very honest with you. If you follow what I'm telling you, you're going to see the difference, right? Now, I asked you guys to do 100 outreach per day. And for some people, 100 might seem like a lot, but this video is to show you why it is not actually a lot. And it's to show you why this business model or just selling something with services is probably the best thing that you guys can actually do for yourself. And I'll explain it with numbers to explain my point. Now, obviously, people that watch me are varied. There are people who watch me from Canada, from US, from Europe, wherever. And I'm sure you follow a lot of other people online that talk about this stuff. But you want to listen to somebody who is actually going to make it as simple and straightforward for you. So let us say, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say that whether you're in Nigeria or Pakistan or wherever, the minimum that you're charging, the minimum we're going to charge, let's say minimum across any place is $500, right? So $500 per client. Now, in order to hit 5K a month, that means you need to get 500 paid to you 10 times in a month. And if you work a regular 9 to 5 job, you're getting paid like maybe 1.5 to 2K every 2 weeks. Now imagine getting paid 500 from 10 people every single month. Your money just increased to 5,000 per month. Very simple maths there, nothing very complex. Now let us break down how we actually get to this number, right? Now, in order to achieve these numbers, there are certain principles, there are certain things that you need to do, certain numbers that you need to hit, not need hit to need in a day. And the reason why I arrived at 100 per day is because at 100 per day, what that comes out to, if we take only the working week, the working days of the week, that comes out to 2,000 people that you're reaching out to in a single month. And from reaching out to 2,000 people, based on research, based on experience, there's know-how that you have most of the other things I'm going to show you on this video, that if you reach out to 2,000 people, you don't get at least 1% of them to be interested in what you're talking about. I mean, there are certain criteria. Like, my job is to make you achieve that 1%. You understand? Like, that's my own job. And I know that it can be done because I've seen way better than 1%. I've seen people do 10% even, right? But let us say minimum that you're ever able to hit, just the same way we did minimum of what you're working with is $500, right? Let's say everybody that you got on the phone with, you only bill them $500. Now, if you sell 1% out of those 2,000 people, what does that come out to? That comes out to what? About 20 people in a month. So in 20 people in a month paying you $500 for a service, that comes out to $10,000 per month. And that is at 1%. So you can see that just by getting 1%, you are going to hit your target and even surpass it by twice. Now, let us go into the actual step by step that you need to hit this 100 people per day. Is hitting 100 people per day possible? I want your answers in the comments. Is hitting 100 people per day possible? Some of you have not even done it at all, so you don't even know if it's possible, but I'll show you how possible it actually is. Now, there are 3 ways that we can actually hit this 100 people per day. And the first one is by doing content. So content is a way of making sure that when you distribute content, when you create something, people actually see it, right? So creating the content itself is not what people just gets people to see it. In order to get people to see it, you need to have an audience, meaning that you need to have people that are going to watch whatever you create that will make up the volume of that content. The second way is through ads. So when I say content, I just mean like content is the actual stuff that you make, because when you run ads, you still make content, right? This ads is still made up of content. And then last but not the least is direct DM. Now, all these have an advantage. All these have an advantage. And I'll tell you why. All these have an advantage in the sense that ads can do its thing. Content, which is in terms of like organic, you posting on your social media, can do its thing, and then DMs can also do their thing. So if you want to hit this strategy, if you want to hit 100 per day, here's what I would advise you to do. You want to select which of an ideal scenario would be where you are doing minimum of 100 on each platform. But there's restrictions to each one. Each of them has their pros and cons. With direct DM, some platforms, depending on how old your account is, it may not allow you to reach out to 100 people per day directly. Oh, there's also cold email. So let me just put in cold email there. The DMs on Instagram, if you're saying you just want to message people on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, those ones are limited. Each of these has their pros and cons. Content that's just posting organic has its pros and cons. The first pro of content is that content is evergreen. What do I mean by this? If you post a content that is good today, right, and also it's also platform dependent. Platform dependent means that if you post a content that is good today on YouTube, if you do everything right, somebody a year from now can still find your content and work with you. That is the nature of content. That's the first pro of content. The con of content is that if you don't have many people that already follow you, it can be hard to get people. Because if I told you guys to just focus on only doing content now, you will say that what I'm teaching you is not working, because you will post content and then nobody will visit your page. You will say that Ken is a liar. Right? That's what you say. You say Ken is lying to you, that Ken told you to go and post and nothing happened. So that's the first pros and cons with content. Second one is ads. Ads too has its pros and cons. Ads probably has the biggest pro here. And under ads, I'm going to say anything that you actually pay for, I'm going to calculate under ads. That's why I said that ads has the biggest ROI. I'm not only talking about ads in terms of Facebook ads or Google ads or YouTube ads. I'm also talking in terms of influencer marketing, like promotions, because people don't factor this in. When people mention all the factors that actually help you to get clients, people don't mention that for some reason. This one is really, really powerful, because what it allows you to do, the biggest pro of this, is that you are already borrowing from people that already have an audience, and you're just paying them to blow your content out quickly. If you're running ads on Facebook, what you're doing is you're taking that content that you've created and you're saying to Mark Zuckerberg, hey, I have this content I've created. I want more people to see this content. That's what you're doing. You're pushing it out on the platform, right? If you're paying influencers, what you're actually doing is you're saying, oh, this influencer has this kind of audience that has, the people that I'm interested in. And I said to this influencer, okay, I'm going to pay you X amount of money. Take this amount of money, post me on your page, post me on your stories, whatever, and bring those people that I'm looking for, those type of people that I've identified are in your audience. Bring them closer to me. That's what paying influencers looks like. Same goes for any other platform that you're paying. You are basically just paying to borrow that audience that somebody has already grown when it's influencers, or for ads, you're paying for that audience that they've already accumulated on their platform. So that's why ads has the highest ROI, because of what? The ability for it to allow you boost anything that you want to boost to a huge amount of people quickly. Now, the cons of ads obviously is money. That's like the only cons of ads. It's literally only money. Every other cons of ads can be worked. You can say, okay, the audience of people that you want to reach out to, all those ones can be actually worked. But you see, the biggest con of ad is money, meaning that you need to have money to run ads. Whether you're doing influencers, whether you're doing Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or Google or LinkedIn or Twitter ads, you need to have money. That is the only con. All right. Now, moving on to the next one, which is direct DM. Again, direct DM has its pros and cons. Pros in the sense that you identify the exact people that you want to reach out to and you message them. Now, the cons here is that, first of all, like I described, you have to actually identify the people. So if you don't know who you are reaching out to, doing direct DMs can be hard if you don't know who to reach out to. And again, some platforms actually restrict you from reaching out to people, platforms like LinkedIn. But if it's like a platform like Instagram, you can DM anybody, and you are rest assured that at least the message will leave your own phone and get to their phone. Whether or not they open it is not up to you, but can you message them? Yes. That is the cons of direct DM. And then last but not the least is cold email. Cold email is also almost the same thing as direct DM, but it's just through email. Because if you have somebody's email, you can literally just send them an email, and what you are guaranteed that the email will land in their inbox. You are guaranteed that the email will leave your side and get over to them. Whether or not they open it or act upon it is not up to you. So that's another con of it, is that if those people don't recognize you, they would not open your email or interact with it. Now, out of these 4 places that I've shown you, organic, ads, direct DM, and cold email, I should actually have been putting all these things on the screen. To be fair, right? I should actually have been putting them on the screen. So just bear with me. But out of these four things that I've mentioned, you can see that you cannot honestly look at all these things and tell me, oh, there is no way that you are hitting 100 per day. Because the only way that you will not hit 100 per day is either one of two things. Either you decide not to just do it, or you are actually lazy. Because there is no excuse. You can see that there's options for both people that don't have money. There's options for people that don't have money. There's options for those that have money. So if you don't have money, you're going to be focusing on the ones that are tied to people that don't have money. If you have money, you can focus on the ones that are higher ROI. So you cannot give an excuse, right? You can see technically that you cannot give an excuse. And that is why I say that this 100 per day is something that you should be aiming for. Now, if you want to make your life a whole lot easier, when I first started out, when I did not have money, I was not focusing on ads. And I say that partially because I've always had money in some kind of way. And when I say I've always had money, I don't mean I've always had millions, but I've always been able to spend at least $5 or $10 a day on ads, which I'm pretty sure anybody who is watching this video right now can actually do. If you're 100% broke, like you're saying you don't have any money at all, nothing, then do the organic. Like organic is free. Why don't you want to do it? What I have today are people who don't want to do any of, like, you don't have money, but yet the free option, you don't still want to do it. And that is actually what grinds my gears, because you can't tell me that you don't have money and yet I'm showing you the option that doesn't involve money. You're telling me that you don't want to do that one. It's not making sense. What do you want me to do for you again? Right? But if you have money and you're like, I don't want to spend time doing all these other things, then you can now spend on ads. So when you're running ads, the thing that you have to be 100% sure of, all these things that I've mentioned, all of them all tie back to content in a way. Do you know why they all tie back to content? Because at the end of the day, content is what you are actually going to be showing people, right? Content is what you are going to be giving people. Content is how people are going to find you. Content is how people are going to know what you're talking about. If you don't give people content, all these tie back to content. Everything ties back to content at the end of the day. If you are doing organic content, if the content that you are putting out is not good, you will mess up. If you are doing ads, the content you are using is not good, you will mess up. If you are doing direct DMs, the content that you are doing is not good, you will still mess up. If you are doing cold emails and the content that you are using is not good, you would actually still mess up. Do you get my point now? So, let me make your life and my life a whole lot easier, because I'm sure most of you are done with my rambling right now, and me too, I'm actually done with my rambling. But to make yourself or to make your life a whole lot easier, I would just say this: do whatever you can to get money. Once you get money, focus on running ads. And when you start running ads, use a funnel. Like I already have like a very good funnel that I can give you. That this funnel, all you have to do per day is spend money on that funnel and get people to enter into the funnel. Now, you might not get 100 people to get into your funnel through just running ads. And that's where the second backup that I would recommend for you guys is organic. So in order of things I would recommend for you to do to hit 100 per day, first one is ads. There's no two ways about it. Ads is just like, it's a no-brainer, guys. Second is organic content. Why? Because when you post organic, like I said, when we're discussing the pros and cons of organic, is that when you post on organic content, even if it doesn't do well today, what it's doing, it is building something for you, both now and in the future. So if somebody finds you tomorrow and you stop running ads, they can still see that content that you've created. That is the benefit of organic content. So ads will be your number one, but you want to back up ads with content. Do you understand? You want to back up ads with content. Do those two. Direct DM and cold email can be your third option. But you see, ads and content, use those two and hold yourself together. Now, once you start doing that, you're going to see how easy it will be for you to hit 100 per day. because the next thing, we can make another video and go into in depth into content, because the next thing that you just have to do is just focus on the right type of content that you're using to drive people from ads. And then you know where your ads and your content are sending people to have a conversation with you. The same thing that you will have done with DM or cold email. Everything leads back to having a conversation with you. Get people to have a conversation with you. Why are we having a conversation? Why are we pushing people back to have a conversation with us? Because, like we already established at the beginning, in order to hit our targets per month, we just need a few people. We don't even need up to 30 people. Do you see that you don't need up to 30 people to hit 10K per month? If 5K is your goal, you just need only 10 people paying you 500. So is everything starting to actually align for you now? Is everything actually starting to make sense for you right now? Yeah, this is the method. This is the complete outreach video. This is everything that you actually need. This is how you need to understand the numbers. Once you understand these numbers, listen to this and meditate on it. This is all you need. Follow this outreach. This is all you need. Okay? Before we start talking about the other things like the actual content, before we start even talking about like things to deliver, whatever service or whatever that you're going to deliver, this is the approach that you need to follow. If you follow this, there's no way that in a 30-day period you don't change. Literally, there's no way in a 30-day period that you don't double how much you're actually making right now. I can almost guarantee it 100%. There's no way you will not double the amount of money that is entering your bank account at the end of the month. If your bank account now at the end of the month you're making 3,000, follow this. There's no way that at the end of the month you're not hitting 6,000. At least start there. Start there. Do you get me? Start there, and then you see the improvement. As you're doing what I'm talking about, you see the improvement, and then you start making more money. So that is what I have to say in this video. Find the other videos helpful. I'll be posting them. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment. And if you want to join the inner circle where we go in depth into this, if you're not already inside the inner circle, I don't know what you're waiting for, but find the link somewhere around and find it helpful. And I look forward to seeing you guys inside. Peace out.